Hey Frank, how's it going? Hey guys, welcome on in. Welcome to the channel. This is Wagworks GA. I am Geoff. You can call me that. You can call me Wags. You can call me Geoff, as some people actually have. But welcome on in. We're gonna do some art tonight. That's what we do here. Frank. So yeah, hi John. Yeah, I walked right into that one, honestly. Yeah, so I'm happy to not be streaming from a hospital this week, so that's cool. That was why I did not have my audio on last week. You know, it's National Epilepsy Awareness Month, so I feel like I can share. We were there for, you know, we have a kiddo with epilepsy, and we had a big seizure day last week. Starting right off the bat in the morning, continuing on, we were in the ER, we got admitted into neurology, and actually as I was streaming and drawing, I was chatting with the EEG tech who was putting the diodes on kiddo's head. You slept through the stream. Yeah, so we were admitted in the hospital. The kiddo was. I was staying with the kid, and yeah, I was actually chatting with the EEG tech as they put up. So the EEG, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar, electroencephalogram. It's how they can measure your brain activity non-intrusively. So they put the gel and the diodes all up and down the scalp. And they usually put like a wrap over it. They will do it for you know, just kind of seeing what a person's baseline is for epilepsy. They'll also, if there's like a change or a big event, they'll take a look to see if it's different than the patient's baseline. Sometimes they're short, like half an hour. Sometimes they're overnight. Sometimes they're like a week long. Ours was thankfully not too long. Therefore, you keep my family out of the hospital. Come on, Frank, where are you on that one? No one needs to carry that weight. Nobody needs to carry that weight. It's fine. But we're all good. Everyone's well now. Still fighting the epilepsy battle, but everyone's okay at the moment, and that's all we can really ask for. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the start of the last week that I've had. But otherwise we're good. We're good, keeping busy. Yeah, how are you doing tonight, Frank? I feel like I never ask you how you're doing. So how are you doing? Rude job. It, you know, when you think about it, it's pretty rude, honestly. So sorry about that. Yeah. Working on it. You're not doing well? Wait, what? Are you serious? Well, the breathing I hope you're at least doing, or blinking. But thanks for asking. Well, I hope things turn around for you. I'm sorry to hear that. No, I don't know what the answer. You have to voluntarily tell your heart to beat. Well, please continue to do that, to tell it. That seems important. Yeah, I didn't realize that when I'm in OBS, I can it actually looks like I'm just staring straight at the chat window, which is kind of... If you need medical attention, I do hope you seek it. I hope you are well, my friend. Although I will say, one of the perks of frequenting hospitals over the last year and a half is their food is actually pretty good. You know, granted, it's, you know, the food that you have to choose because you're, you know, ordering for someone who's stuck there and you're the adult accompanying them. But it's really pretty good. I can't complain. I know it's not a restaurant. Listen, you gotta look for the positives. You really do. You really do. And my kiddo, like, they just are excited because when they're in the hospital, they get to control the remote for the TV in the hospital room. And that's like, the power goes straight to their head. It's nice to see the joy given the circumstances. For shame, John. Oh, changing my name. Clearly, that's the only thing I can do now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into warm up. Not letting the kids use the remote at home. They get plenty of control. They use the remote to turn on the TV to turn on the switch, and that's what they like. We also cut cable, so there's not a whole lot for them to do with the remote. We don't let them like pilot free YouTube on their own. They're still pretty young. So we DJ, I guess VJ the YouTubes for them. But then they get some control when it's video game time. So it's all good. Let them YouTube kids. We could, I suppose. Although I don't know if that'll actually stream to the TV, which is what we usually use the app for. But anyway, warm up time. That felt kind of slick. I don't know if it looked as slick as it felt, but I felt cool for a second. All right. Anyway, I warm up with Pokemon cards. I picked, we've got quite a few in the house, and I picked, we got 5 here. I picked 5 randomly, well, not randomly, that I think would be either fun or challenging to draw before each stream, and I randomly pick one here, and that's going to be our 5-minute warm-up. So, I choose you. Okay. It's Druddigon, which I'm going to, make sure to write on the screen for my lovely and talented video editor. I'm so glad that it wasn't the one. I put in one for fun that I thought would be like, oh, this would be challenging. How do you draw this and give it like expressions? But then I was so glad that it wasn't Staryu or Starby. It's all good. Give her a vacation. Ashley works too hard for you. She does work very hard, but not just for me. Not just for me. I try to, support. I am the drawing monkey, so try to pull my weight around here as best I can. But I'd love to give her a vacation as well. Absolutely. And I'm saying this as I realize that I didn't start up my drawing program yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. So, yeah, we'll hop into warm up here. Just getting my Clip Studio Paint started up. So thanks for waiting with me while I do that. Get my timer going. Pull up my reference. Okay, so let's hop on over. Pew! I'm gonna just do that every single time. Anytime. That's good times. Excuse me. All right, let's get that reference on up there. That's the one. Hey, that's the one. Druddigon, the friendly, huggable Pokemon. I thought it was a good bit. It's cool. It's all cool. Everything's cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Get my colors arranged. What am I even doing? Okay, I'm gonna double, triple check that I'm spelling this right. D-R-U-D-D. Whee! So as usual, my whole spiel. Drawing's fun. I like it. I hope you like it too. You should draw along. You can do the warm-up with me. You don't have to draw the Pokemon. You can draw whatever you like. You could draw 5 whole comics like Frank does. He's very fast, you see. Okay, got that. Label my layers, of course. Which you can't see me doing. I always forget that in this new layout with chat on the side, you can't see me doing any layer work. Frank hates drawing. So do you just do it so much to punish yourself? Is that what we're doing? All right, just about ready. Thanks for bearing with me, everybody. You could do it to punish others as well. I'm not sure what that looks like, but it could be entertaining. Okay. Geoff's finally got his stuff together to do the warm-up. So we got the timer ready to go. I'm gonna kick it off now. So 5 minutes. Here we go. Yeah. So per usual. Actually, I'm gonna try doing this a little bit rougher on this thumbnail portion of it, as I believe I say every time. I like to work in the kind of fairly typical for art and very typical for comics process of first drawing thumbnails or really rough sketches, and then I go to pencils, which is a better sketch, getting closer to lines, and then I go to inks, which is the final set of lines, before adding color, shading, all of that. Again, it's a pretty common process and way to do art. In this warm-up, I'm not going to get very far. I'm going to get maybe through this here sketch layer, and that'll be about it. And I may get to pencils, I may not, depending on how much time I spend monkeying around with poses, fixing things, resizing like 20 times. Too much work. Frank just draws it. So they got really large arms. So I'm gonna make it kind of like resting on. The other thing you'll notice, by the way, is that when I do these warm-up drawings, I draw my Pokemon sleeping. This is my way of helping force my creativity a little bit by giving myself a constraint. And by doing that, I'm not spending, most of my time trying to figure out what I want to draw this Pokemon doing. I'm like, okay, well, it's gonna be sleeping, maybe in a ridiculous pose, with its tail up in the air. But anyway, it gives me a chance to do that, and then by getting that generic pose, but doing it for every Pokemon I draw, I also have to start to explore, like, hey, what makes this Pokemon unique? What is the vibe that I get from it? And how do I express that? Maybe I'll do it a little bit more like, can we like a almost blanket like? Something like that. Anyway, yeah, it kind of forces you then to think about, how do I give it a little bit of personality, even though I'm doing kind of the same pose for each one. So it's fun in that way. The idea of I just don't know how to draw open eyes. No, that's not right. I can't. Nope, can't do it. Frank called me out. You got me, man. I can't claim credit for the using limitations to spark creativity. It's actually it was a whole topic of a whole seminar that Matt Madden gave for our Kids Comics Unite group, and it was cool. He led us through some really fun exercises and stuff like that. You should find him on Instagram. He's an amazing comic artist and actually a really good teacher, if you're curious. But anyway, all that said, it's cool. I love the idea of being creative by actually closing off options. Don't think the underbelly extends all the way past, so I think it'll stop somewhere there, right? And then we can kind of I do tend to draw my thumbnails a little closer to pencils and my pencils a little bit closer to inks in terms of like how much detail I throw in. I am aware of that, but it's also a little bit intentional because I like to focus on, or I need to focus more on my pen pressure in my inks. So it's helpful for me to have nailed out the details first. Is that Lily? The jelly beans emote? I love it. Oop, that is an eraser, Geoff. Yeah. Another thing that I tend to do is to give myself a little bit of a limitation on detail that I try to work in. I do use a bigger brush, just because that it prevents me from going too wild on all the details. Although, you know, we're still on thumbnails, and this has kind of gone way beyond the basic gesture drawing. All right, that's timer. Geoff playing Mandalorian music. I'm calling Disney right now. I mean, we did make we did make a comic based on how much we like the Mandalorian. Yeah. Also, this is on like Game Chops Radio, Video Game Music Study Lounge, which I thought like they have some surprising songs on here, but they're all really good. So I stick with it. All right, so that's it. I'm pretty happy with this. I've been known to finish Pokemon art occasionally. So I like having these sketch warm-up exercises because they're building like a library that I can always return back to and finish if I like. So that means that the goal here is to just get a rough workable idea, get something out that I feel like I'd be happy to come back to and has a potential to be a full finished piece at some point. I mean, also, Frank, you don't have to call Disney. I could just shout out the window. It's fine. They just finished the fireworks show from Mickey's Very Merry Holiday Party, which kicked off at 10 o'clock. So, you know, they'll probably hear you if you shout out there. It's all good. The lawyers are running to my house now. I believe they have jetpacks, technically. I think that is how they prefer to get around. They're Disney, they can afford it. The day is the 14th. Wow. Okay, so I'm just saving my work. Again, for the express purpose of being able to come back to it later if I so desire. Okay, so tonight, main thing going on, Core Toons comic. I'm planning on working on our new Sunny Skies, our next one, which is also kind of the origin story for that comic, which is similar to the origin story for Weatherwise because they're kind of the same characters, but spun in a more wordless, younger kid-friendly way. But also I was going to take a look because they have released the preliminary games list for Awesome Games Done Quick 2025, which will be January. And I want to take a look. I have made it, for the last several events, a goal to, make a piece of art to submit to them. For a prize. So like we did the totally awesome like Sonic blanket for the last one. And I'd love to do that, but also I've got a lot of art projects going right now. So it might also be good to see if I have something that I can give them. Where's the games list, y'all? The draft schedule release. Just a moment. I was gonna bring it up here and we can look at it together, but having trouble navigating to the games list because apparently I have challenges. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. Well, maybe we won't be looking over that. Maybe I'm gonna have to do some digging to find where it actually is. Oh, there you go. Oh, never mind. Never mind. As soon as I give up, that's exactly when it shows up. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Yep. So the goal here is to look over there and see if there's any games that I want to either I would want to do art for, or I might have something that I could already use. Just a moment. Well, yes, that is what I want to do. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it right over my face. There we go. Okay. All right, let's see what the runs are. Okay, Pikmin could be good. Kirby, I do have some Kirby art already. Mega Man X3, Wind Waker, always awesome. You're halfway done with this comic. I know. I said, did I not say Frank is extremely fast? Ooh, Pizza Possum. That looks fun. Meat Boy, Super Mario Maker, Sonic Origins. I just did Sonic last time, so that would probably be too soon. Too soon. Breath of the Wild. Super Mario Bros. Sonic Lost World, Final Fantasy Legend 2 could be fun. Pokemon, let's go. Pikachu and Eevee. Okay, new Super Mario Brothers Wii. Any percent while playing piano, that's gonna be fun to watch. Oh my gosh. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, new Super Mario Wii, sorry, 64. Those are all excellent. Mega Man. That looks fun. Oh, is that the Awful Games block? I love it. It's so much fun. We've got Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered. Tears of the Kingdom. No one can stop Mr. Domino. Nintendo World Championships, NES Edition. That's going to be awesome to watch. Mario Kart 8, Super Mario World. Metal Gear Solid, Mega Man 10, yep. Omega, okay, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Crazy Taxi with live backing band? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, oh, and they're finishing out with Super Metroid, that'll always be good. Okay. Alright, so there's a lot of good stuff there. Okay, so what I'm not gonna do this time, Ancient Geoff playing Crazy Taxi. I mean, I don't feel like it should be a surprise to anybody that my first system was an NES. I mean, we had an Atari 2600. I wasn't as into it as the NES. That was really kind of my proper introduction to gaming. Did you get that when you graduated high school? Now listen here, youngin'. That's malarkey. No, that was, like... At risk of aging myself too clearly. That was, like... early elementary school. But I don't even remember what I was talking about. It's fine. It's all good. We still, Ashley and I still make jokes sometimes, like references to Crazy Taxi, though. Is something we bonded over early. But I'm not, now I remember what I was going to say. I'm not going to do what I did for the last event, which is where I spent like a stream like making lists, and then like a stream thumbnailing, and then a stream penciling, and then another several streams penciling before I finally picked my piece and started going on it. So I'm going to think about it. I'm going to see if I can use something that I made already. And if not, then I'm going to come in with a definite decision and just get going on it. But that won't be this week. This week we're going to start on a comic. Well, Frank, what was your first gaming system? I'm actually really curious now. Now that we're talking about it. Alright, I'm gonna hop back here. I'm gonna close this guy and hop into our 4-panel comic template. It's complicated. Okay. Earliest system that you have memories playing on. Okay, technically the first system was GameCube, but you had a PlayStation. Okay. Yeah, definitely feeling slightly old right now. The first one that you called your own was an Xbox One. Okay. Yeah, I guess it was kind of like that with, like we had the Atari 2600, but it wasn't like mine. And then the NES was the first one that was really like, yes, this is mine. Okay, let's jump in. Let's make a comic, guys. Frank's already done 12. So do you have like a go-to childhood game that's just like instant nostalgia for you? I don't actually have a title for this one. Not yet, at least. Okay. Core Toons, Sunny Skies. I have a lot of really good Chrono Trigger music tonight. They refuse to re-release it for Switch. It has to be able to run on the Switch. Nintendo, what's up with this? You're making giant power. Oh, goodness. I played a little bit. So I went through a little bit of a PC gaming era. But not a huge amount. I played a little bit of like Dark Forces and Jedi Knight. And then like a little bit of like for PS2, I got, for some reason, I guess I got the used copy of like Super Bombad Racing, which was terrible but also fun. Oh, you just beat Dark Forces 1? Hey, did you play it on stream? All right, what else? I'm saving a file and I'm blanking out on what I'm doing. And I'm going to remember to turn on time lapse this time before I start sketching anything. Look at me. We did it. We did it. Oh, but they remastered it recently. Yeah, I mean, I thought that it was literally just on the GDQ schedule that I looked at. Wait, wasn't Dark Forces 2 just Jedi Knight? The remaster is weird. Okay. Also, where does it fit in the Disney-owned EU? Because I know like it had a really clearly carved out niche in the old EU, but like, is it still canon? You don't like being able to look up and down. It's unnatural. Yes. Having played my fair share of like Doom, yes. Okay. I did sketch this out, did I not? Tell me. you know, a prepared artist might have looked at the comic script before they started streaming themselves doing it. But I like to fly by the seat of my pants sometimes. They're jet pants. Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, and then Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Jedi Knight was made by a different developer. And so then the Jedi Knight expansion, Mysteries of the Sith, was also made by a different developer. That same different developer, I'm guessing. Same different. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I was like, oh, I was just gonna bring up the thumbnails for the script. That we thumbnailed out. But it turns out, chat, that our entire just a second. Our entire script and thumbnails for this one is oh, I can't even bring it in. Because it's an HEIC. What the heck? It's dad joke time. So last year you bought a game. You bought a game. So I have a very, very warm spot in my heart for the GameCube. I am listening to whatever Game Chops tells me I should be listening to. I don't ask questions, I just obey. The GameCube doesn't work. Oh no! Because seriously, like, I feel like in terms of just the hardware itself, the design of it, it is one of the best pieces of hardware Nintendo has ever designed. Oh, you bought Rogue Squadron 2 and 3. So what's the problem with it? I know with my GameCube, the actual, like, the disk drive just died, and that was it. And won't spin the disc. That's what happened to mine too. Unpopular opinion, you could get a Wii. Or if you have one. But then the Wii also, the same thing happened where it stopped spinning the discs on ours. But yeah, if you can't, or if it's prohibitive in price to get a GameCube, the Wii would definitely work for a GameCube disc. Don't want to spend another. Yeah, that is. Have you thought about setting it up as like a bits donation incentive? See if you can. See if your community would like to see you play it. Or is that not really cool? I feel like I've seen a lot of speedrunners do that, especially when they need a specific system or something like that. That would be a nightmare. Okay. You know. Oh, because I need an adapter and a new capture card. Okay, so it's not straightforward. I'm getting that impression. All right. Hold on, I was doing a thing. Apparently I'm tired or something tonight. It's what I hear. So yeah, it's wait, are you not gonna capture the window for the thing? Nope. Okay, that doesn't work. That's not working. All right, well, the point is, I don't have thumbnails for this one, so I'll be drawing this from scratch. Okay. It's almost like I have to be an artist or something. A $500 goal right there. I've thought about just trying out some of the, like, because you can get pretty inexpensive capture cards. I'm not saying that that's the solution to your problem, but I've actually thought about doing it just for fun, to like hook up the Switch sometime for like a fun last like half hour of stream or something, or like special occasion. But also there's like Steam, and I have a few games there that I could do if I wanted, but I think I tried that once. It didn't go great because I don't think I had it running on the right GPU with OBS. I'll figure it out one of these days, maybe. Okay. I have spent enough time talking to figure out what it was that I wanted to do. So yeah, this is actually I'll go inside the panel frame here. This is what I got for my my script to work with. Not even full sentences. We just jotted it down real quick. Oh, nice. So, wow. So they can, even the cheap ones can, in the right cases, get you a lot of good service. That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay. So yeah, sometimes this is what a comic script looks like, dear chat. Yep, apply transformation. There we go. Lighten it up a little bit. All right, so we're just gonna go straight into sketches. I'm gonna play around with this a little bit, like an artist or something. Oh, you wish you could look. It is a series of words. Picture shows handwritten note saying sunny skies, neighbors, Corey out, Chloe points at dark sky, shock, inside, board games. Does that work? Is that helpful, Frank? Good enough. Good enough. Okay, so Frank, I have a question for you because I noticed this when I was bringing up my chat monitor, which is actually an entirely different computer. If it says that my average stream bitrate is too high, could that be what is causing you challenges and lag when you watch the video on my stream? Now it's showing stable. I did not set a custom bitrate. I just went with whatever was out of the box. I should really make better use of Twitch Inspector. Do you use a custom bitrate? Oh, so I'm like double what I should be. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. Yeah. It says my bitrate is stable at like 6,000. Okay. Well, 6K. So okay. Good to know. It is a red line. Are you talking about on Twitch Inspector? It's a red line because that's how I roll. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that I need to pay attention to my bit rate And next time I stream, at least probably set it manually to something lower, because I am cramming way too much data through for a streamlined viewing experience. Good to know. Good to know. So Frank, you manually set your bitrate? Is that correct? Yeah, I'm looking at my output settings right now, and I see where I can set my video bitrate, and I see that it's set at 6,000. All right. Can I change it midstream? Let's find out. Let's find out. Geoff suddenly goes off the air. Okay. Let's try, you said between 2,500 and 3,000. Let's go 2,700. All right, Chad. If this blows up in my face, I'll be back. Unless it literally blows up, which would make no sense. In which case, problems. But let's try. Okay. I think I'm still here. Still looking about. Okay. I don't know that it actually changed anything. Twitch Inspector is still showing me. Yeah. It is now saying, okay, bitrate is adjusting. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Well, hey, now I know what was going on. That's, yeah. And now Twitch is telling me that my bitrate is excellent. No recommended changes. Well, thanks, Frank. I learned something new tonight. That was, and thus you single-handedly fixed the stream. Thank you. Honestly, thank you. Well, now I know I lags for other people sometimes too. That's handy. Okay. So, all right. Oh, creative blocks sometimes, right? All right. So this is just going to be the sketch layer. So what I think we'll do is we'll have it where, it's too big of a window. So our main character, one of our main characters here, Chloe, is going to be looking out the window of her house. Maybe I don't need the border of the window. And she'll see, it's like, you know, the street or whatever. Houses and such. Like that. Okay. Sidewalk. Draw the street a little bit bigger, maybe. Just color it in. That's fine. So if it's too high, it could buffer for viewers. Okay. Well, that seems like one of those streaming things that I, you know, hopefully would have eventually looked up. But instead, Frank, you have solved my problem. Thank you. And now you can actually see what I'm doing. So that's hopefully a bonus. Oh, nice. So what's Corey doing outside? We know he plays soccer. Maybe I'll have like a basketball hoop out there or something on the street. I'm starting to think like, oh, but what about continuity? Because we have one where she runs outside of her house, and so now I have to make sure they all match because people are watching. So we have that one, right? But there's no neighbor houses. Whoops, it's fine. You know, like continuity for comics like that. No, it's like it's a hard balance, right? Like I want to have a world that's at least consistent in some threads, but yeah, I don't want to drive myself crazy trying to make it perfect. It's a cartoon, nobody cares that much when watching it. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's not the point of what I'm really doing, right? It's just kind of like the point is really to make something fun that teaches like a little bit of science. Yeah, well, I'm definitely not changing the plot because of the comic layout or the house layout or whatever. It's more like I'm drawing it, so I'm like, what do I need to consider here? Well, maybe we won't draw lightning yet, but like dark skies behind there. Yeah, I don't really like this layout right now. Anyway, I feel like it doesn't read super clear. All right, clear you out. But in general, Frank, I definitely agree. I think it's way better to focus on the story and communicating what you mean to than to try and force everything and build this intricate world. But the internal consistency is nice if you can get it. Okay, so she's looking out the window, right? And Corey's gonna be out here. Yeah, maybe we put like a basketball hoop or something like that, like out at the edge of the street. It's a very short basketball hoop. No, I'm still not quite satisfied with that. Alright, come on. The thumbnailing is definitely one of the more interesting ideation parts of creating. Like just trying to figure out how you want to compose your picture, what's communicating your point the best. I will also claim the excuse that if I seem a little extra tired and slow to make decisions tonight, it's because I have shifted my wake up time earlier, and therefore I'm just a bit more tired. I like the idea of him maybe doing basketball or something where he's facing away from the clouds, because it implies that he doesn't see that there's like a giant storm coming, which is kind of the point, right? The whole point of the plot that we've written here is like they start being friends because like maybe they're neighbors, and you know she knows the weather's coming because she loves weather, Where's your Monster Energy, old man? Are you sure my aged heart can handle the energy drinks? Oh, to be fair, I did have a caffeine. I had a caffeine. I had a coffee before stream, but it feels like it's already starting to wear down just a wee bit. Yeah. So is that you saying that you like them just for the flavor? I mean, I've had Red Bulls. They're not bad. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, that would be the other reason that I don't really drink them. Well, also the crash. Like, I can't really... yeah. Can't really afford the crash. Although I say that and I'm like, but I just chugged 20 cups of coffee. That's great. That's good for you. It's not actually that great either. Although I'm also watching the caffeine intake on that. Okay. So Corey's out here doing something. Whee! Hi! That doesn't... Okay, I think I need to go to a smaller brush because I'm finding it, even though I've got a pretty wide space to work with, I'm having a hard time doing the details. Okay. There we go. So that works. Maybe I can shift it over a bit just to get the hoop a little bit better, but that works. Been watching the amount of soda you drink. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I used to drink a lot of soda, like as a kid, and then you know, a little bit more in adulthood, but not crazy amounts. Like it had already started reducing, and now I just to cut out like the sheer amount of sugar. Yeah, I basically don't, like, I drink a soda or two a year at this point. And I think I'm better off for it. I've switched to coffee and green tea for me. Yeah, I don't need to overthink this, right? He's out there. They got like a hoop set up in, you know, the street or whatever. One of those portable ones. Yeah, green tea is nice because it's a, you know, it's a really mild caffeine, but I do feel like it is helpful for focus. It's pretty relaxing, and the antioxidant content is really good too. So, like, I think I started really building the green tea habit probably a decade ago. At this point, it's nothing fancy. Like I'm not doing like the loose leaf teas or anything. I'm sure that they're really good, and if I took the time to really learn about it and try it, it'd be fine. It's just right now it's whatever's handy and easy. Okay, this is enough. I don't have to figure out all the details right now. So then Chloe's gonna come out. I'll go ahead and move this layer over to the next panel. Maybe, okay. Oh, I know what to do. Okay. So maybe I'll do where it's kind of from Corey. We'll switch it up. Whoop, that is definitely not what I meant to do. Whee! Okay. Oh, you had no idea the tea had caffeine either? Well, to be fair, it's much better than coffee, and I think even black tea is much milder in caffeine than like a soda, because most sodas are like 20 milligrams or so of caffeine. That's Corey. Okay, still doing the faces. Still doing the faces. Okay. No, we don't really. I mean, usually so instead of like setting all the plates at the table and then bringing out the big dish, we just usually make the plates in the kitchen and bring the plates out. So it's kind of, and we don't do really a big formal thing. We'll just kind of bring it out as they're ready. So we don't stand on formality. So no, don't make the kids set the table. No worries. So what is Return of the Jedi a certain point of view? So maybe I'll make him a little bit smaller so I can fit. I like the idea of him holding the basketball under his arm. So maybe I can just bring that down a little bit. Oop, no, don't tilt it. Come on. You know, learning the shift key shortcuts for like aligning things and getting them on the right angles has been one of the best quality of life improvements. I say this years after learning it. It's so helpful. It's a book, but in a certain point of view series, there's one for each of the original trilogy and follows the plot of the movie, but from the point of view of a different character. So, for Return of the Jedi is a General Akbar. Because that would be kind of awesome. At that point, I had one realization. It was a trap. Oh, each chapter is a different character and story. Oh, sorry for spoilers. Just kidding. Do you not really know Star Wars, Frank? Those are like fighting words. So you just got to where Jabba's sail barge exploded. Okay. I don't know if I've said it before. I did like, even though it was kind of formulaic, I did really like The Force Awakens, but I still think Return of the Jedi might be my favorite of the 9 movies in the Skywalker saga. There was a point of view chapter for the Sarlacc pit, and it's vegetarian. Okay, so is that supposed to be setting up for like why Book of Boba Fett worked? It's amazing in canon. I mean, you think about it, and it explains a lot. Okay. He gets mad when Boba Fett falls. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love the idea that there's like this Sarlacc internal monologue. You couldn't have removed your armor before falling in. I can't digest that. I love it. Okay. Nope. That's the layer I want. It talks to C-3PO? Could you stop feeding yourselves to me? It's very rude. Oh. I absolutely love that that's canon. It's perfect. That's such a good twist on it. Oh man, I love it. Maybe, nah, I don't like that pose. Don't like that pose here. Okay. And the end, Sarlacc is like, oh, the man in armor came back. Maybe he wants to be friends. Oh, that's harsh. Actually, what if I do... Okay, I know what I want to do with his arms. Okay. Okay. He drops hands and like the ball just... Okay. That the Sarlacc was thousands of years old. Lived on Tatooine, what was apparently a rainforest. Yeah, I was trying to remember from Book of Boba Fett, if that was what went down. I kind of got that impression. Excuse me. I love that kind of lore building, though. I think that's really fun. I tell you what, it is a little after 11, and I really, really have to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to put you on Be Right Back, and I'll be right back. That's what's going to happen. Go away. I'll go away, but then I'm going to come back. You're not clear of me yet. I mean, unless you just, navigate your web browser away, which you're totally welcome to do at any point in time. But I'm happy to stay. It's good. All right. With that, I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And we'll finish thumbnailing this and probably get to some pencils. All right. Back in a few. Well, hey, that's timely. I was just talking about how we did a comic on The Mandalorian and how much we liked it. Kind of perfect. There we go. Well, hi everyone. I'm back. What's The Mandalorian? I blew it. I was totally gonna go for some like wise guy answer, and I just completely blanked. It's someone who plays a mandolin. That's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, that's it. I remembered my water bottle this time. It's good times. Goodness gracious. Is that like the tiny orange? Yeah, they play with the tiny oranges. It's that exactly. We're such an edifying stream. Absolutely. Okay. Drawing some comics or something. Edifying. Yeah, edifying. Alright, so then I can just turn this off because I know the plot. Nope, that's the blip blip. That's what I get for being fancy. That's what I get. Okay. I should probably have a window frame in here, maybe. Maybe. Excuse me, my goodness. I am so rude on stream tonight. So Frank, have you finished the comic yet? The comics? It's probably more than one. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll... We're getting there, Geoff. Are you just planning out your Christmas arc well in advance? You guys. I've had my Christmas edition scheduled for the last 4 months. I don't know. So, and I think this is partially biased by the fact that when you have kids, life just goes very fast. Time really just kind of flies. And not that it doesn't for people without children, but like I've noticed since we've had kids just how like it's September and then I blink and suddenly it's March. You probably post it when you finish it in 3 minutes. Are you kidding though? Anyway, for that reason, I have become a very big fan of like doing basically what Disney does, right? Halloween happens, they stay open late for their Halloween party, they close down overnight, the entire park gets transitioned from Halloween to Christmas. That's just what they do. Well, not Christmas, holidays. They are inclusive of everything. It's not Christmas only. But almost everything goes up, right? So we say, all right, in our house, November 1st, you can start getting Christmas stuff out. We haven't gone whole hog yet, but we start bringing it out. We start listening to the music. You got yelled at for saying happy holidays once? Ouch. I got yelled at once for talking about my school's winter break, for trying to be too PC about it. I'm like, no, we just called it winter break. That's what it was. They didn't call it anything else. Like, no, it's Christmas break. I'm like, no, we just called it winter break. What do you want from me? Anyway. Yeah, like I thought that was just like the common thing. Anyway, it's in the past. But yeah, we start November 1st, we start breaking it out. just because I feel like with all the stuff that happens in the season, with all the events, and like if we start celebrating at least a little bit November 1st, then it will have sunk into my brain by December 25th that it's that season, and I'll have actually like registered that this happened. There's so many other seasons and holidays that it feels like such a short fuse when they come up because we don't start preparing months in advance, that I'm like, oh wait, did that actually just happen? Oh, is that today? Oh, was that yesterday? Oh. Yeah, it kind of, I don't know. It's not that I was adamantly against starting early before, but I feel like parenthood has absolutely changed my, like, showed me like the necessity of it, or like the wisdom of it. What board game are they playing? Are they playing chess? Are they playing something different? I don't know. Are they playing Candyland? Am I still online? There. Just double checking my bitrate, making sure we're still happy. I think we are. All right. That's exciting. Nice. The jelly bean. Oh, where she's like, it just shows her like with like the headset on and the controller at Willie's house, and she's like talking like, yeah, nice, like, nice job, good job, or something, and then like Willie walks in and be like, you're not even connected online. And she's like, I just wanted some of the experience, or just wanted to, yeah, like practice, or I just wanted to get some of the experience. I mean, you could take it even further and be like, it's not even turned on, what are you doing? Frank's like, and I'm done. Finish the entire thing. I'm just gonna make it like Candyland because I still really like Candyland, unironically. Don't know why. Excuse me. Maybe make the arm more like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be a perfectly detailed game. It can just be like a thing with like little game pieces, but that's the gist of it. Okay. I'll come back and add a little bit here. Hello, computer? There we go. Oh, maybe I'll make that lightning bolt a little bit less like coming directly out of the clouds at them. They do say when thunder roars, head indoors, but this might be a bit of an extreme example of that. Right, also the clouds would not be eclipsing the house in front of them. Right. Silly technical things. You know, little details. It's like the perfect storm. The perfect storm. Maybe I'll add like a little tree in here. Oh, well, okay. Well, I do want to add the tree just to give the increased sense of what the depth is of the situation. So I'll draw the cloud base a little bit higher up. I think that works out a little better. And I'll move the sound effects over. Okay. I think this portrays it a little more clearly what's going on. I mean, for a thumbnail. For a thumbnail. Okay. I probably don't need those extra wind lines. That doesn't quite look realistic. Okay. Okie dokie. That's better. A little bit of a leaf or something blowing in the wind here. Let's get that like kind of gust front thing that you get in front of the storms. Almost done with the sketch. That's awesome, Frank. I really do applaud your speed. Did you ever end up going to one of the Friday night comics sessions? I know it's not always an easy time to make. I know I have trouble making it to them. I enjoyed the ones that I did, but all right, let's pencil this. I've been super lazy. I mean, that's fine. They're just cool. I think they're really useful. But also you're fast enough where you probably will be able to actually finish something to show. I want to pull up a good one that has both of them. Oh, the Sundog one's a good one. Okay, let's see that one. You're already comic master. Well, are you going to be speaking at one of them then soon? It was fun. We actually saw one of these just like a couple weeks ago. Super cool. You're going to be the one training the people who run it. So the people who run it actually are the Sequential Artist Workshop. They're actually pretty close to here, although I've never been there. They're in Gainesville. Yeah, you can take whole stretches of classes with them. They publish anthologies. They do all sorts of stuff. Pretty amazing group, honestly. All right. There we go, every day. Okay. I know I'm totally doing the expressions, and just be aware that I can't stop myself from doing it. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm really okay. I just can't not make the expressions that I'm drawing in my characters. So hey, that's free entertainment for everybody. So like that. No, too much erase. Finish the sketch. So you finished the Christmas comic and you're now sketching the next one? Is that just confirming that in fact you are finishing multiple comics in the time that it's taking me to do like one thumbnail and start on pencils? Oh, Christmas comic isn't done yet. Okay. You do have a little time. You do indeed. What is happening right now? Interesting. Well, that's a trick I didn't know about in Clip Studio before. Geoff turning on sticky keys. It was definitely sticky keys. I was just trying to figure out, because I wasn't sure with the pencil tool, right? If the shift key would force a straight line like it does with the line tool. But apparently it remembers where your last pen down was, and you can just like drag up this little guy and then just tap and it draws it, which I did not know about before. And that's kind of handy. Yep, that was definitely not a straight line though. I feel like maybe I should just do a straight line tool. Yeah. Just do the line tool, my friend. Nope. I am realizing that with both the fact that I'm not ultimately fast in comics and the fact that comics by necessity involve drawing a lot of stuff, while oftentimes the idea of shortcuts are kind of frowned upon in art, it turns out when you have to draw tens or hundreds of images, they're kind of necessary. A Christmas Story. Oh, you're old. Have you watched like the Oh Fudge Christmas Story, the Fragile, that one? Cause yeah, I've definitely, yeah, I've seen that one, once or twice. I think I enjoyed it more as a kid, but once you see it like a dozen times, you're like, okay, it's funny, but is this going somewhere, or are you just curious or pointing out that I'm old? It did come out in the 50s, my childhood. Oh my goodness. Called out. Okay. I'm gonna go smaller brush size here since he is further away. Maybe that's too much. So just to confirm, there was not an actual question here. It was just the Geoff is old. So I'm trying to not cover up his face with the other hand that would usually be like this. I'm like, maybe he's just pulling it away. Yeah. Yes. Yes, that is indeed the case. Very good, very good. So maybe if I rotate the hand a little bit too, that'll help it. Actually, no. Okay, so maybe I can keep this hand, I think, just change how I got the arm. There we go. I mean, I'm old enough that I grew up through a solid chunk of, I was, alive during a solid chunk of the 80s. But a lot of my memories, my earlier memories, are from the 90s. If that frames things at all. Like you were alive during Call of Duty. I don't know why it cracks me up so much that you just defined it as a episode of Call of Duty, or a game, an entry in the Call of Duty series of games. I was alive during the Cold War, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a big chunk of my active memory years, Hey, the world map, we still have a globe back at my folks' house, and a world atlas that I got in late elementary school, and it definitely has some different layouts of countries than what exists now. You were alive during Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Isn't modern doesn't that mean now? I don't play Call of Duty. Also, I just keep on wanting to make the Wreck-It Ralph joke. You must have to watch where you step in a game called Call of Duty. Because I'm that mature. I simply am. You can tell I spent some time as a kid drawing basketballs. Modern Warfare is now in the past. There's a problem with their naming convention is all that I'm suggesting, because that's challenging. Okay, time to do the final draft. Final draft or final version? I'm just saying, if modern means in the past, where do you go from there? It's like the art file, the drawing project where you're like, final, no final, seriously final, this is really the last version. We're in the future, Geoff. Of course. Oh, is that... We tricked sand into thinking for us. I mean, you're not wrong. There are those moments where you describe what's actually happening with a common technological device, and you're like, oh, dang, that's actually pretty cool. when I say it like that. We're doing all right. So are the newer Call of Duty games like future ops? But see, here's the problem. Modern is now the past and future is now the present. What are they going to be releasing in 10 years? What is the word for that? Black Ops. Oh, so then they just do specific titles that are like tied to periods of time in the past. Oh. Wait. So number 6 was in the 90s, number 2 was in 2025, and 1 was in the 60s, 28. Ah, I see. So if you just overwhelm it with utter, like, complete lack of consistency, then it doesn't matter and everything's fine. Black Ops 10 is going to be like Napoleon. I don't know why that's the example that I went with, but there you have it, folks. Interesting. Okay. So connected, but not. Okay. I appreciate the breakdown. Because it's just not a series I ever got into. 6 is a reboot built in the 90s. Okay. Or set in the 90s. I guess I could just use the line tool here. I could. Then there's zombie mode, which involves zombies, World War II, aliens, and a multiverse. Oh, you know. I love that my entire answer is, well, you know. I mean, because at some point, right, it's just people being like, well, what's cool that we can create with this? We did this. What do we want to do next? What are we really into? What was an interesting period in time? What's an interesting twist? And just like we were talking about, like, continuity in comics. I'm sure they also don't love having to worry about like heavy continuity. Nope. I was gonna probably use the line tool again, huh? So it'll be like the sidewalk on the other side of the road. This will kind of be the horizon line. Which completely breaks at the windowsill. I'll kind of fit in the same-ish houses here. So this is like a... Yeah. like that, and there was like a garage here. Something like that. Okay, that kind of works out. You're so... Listen, man. At some point, you just gotta accept that, you know, we only go one direction with age, and it doesn't doom us necessarily. Not that, you know, we can change it, but we can only try to be the best versions of ourselves we can with the information we have today. And yeah, I think it helps accepting that, you know, you don't have to understand every new thing out there, but at the same time, you shouldn't just judge it automatically because it's different than what you know. Do I have a brother? No. Unless I have a secret brother, but I think that's unlikely. No. I'm an only child, is what I could have also answered that question with. I have siblings in law. Oh no. That only children are weird. Because they don't get proper socialization. Well, I couldn't tell you if that's the reason. Am I kind of weird or am I different? Probably, yeah. Like, I can think of times too where, like, you know, I got socialization. Like, I did pre-K, I did daycare, you know, even before elementary school. So I wasn't just like, you know, never exposed to people. But I, you know, I do see where siblings really help with, like, they're the person that pesters you, right? They push your boundaries, and it's not because they're your enemy. It's because they're around you all the time, and they're bored, or they're just so familiar with you that they want to poke at you. All the other ones you notice are weird. I mean, isn't everybody kind of weird in their own way? Like, it's like the whole thing where there's no actual normal. There's just kind of this perception that we get from averaging everything together and playing this mental statistics game. Don't get me wrong, I still think I'm fairly unique. You know, in general, I think it's a net positive. I can see ways in which I kind of am different in maybe not positive way. I don't know. I guess the whole point is, like, I do think that not having the sibling experience, like, there are certain areas where I can see it, maybe I could have benefited from it, right? In terms of, like, getting a thicker skin, or, like, certain zones of, like, friendly antagonism, like, stuff like that, where maybe, you know, maybe if I'd had a sibling, I would have been familiar with it. Not you. So, like, wait, are you an only child? But no, I realized, I remembered what I said. But overall, you know, I'm cool with where I ended up. I don't lament at this point not having a sibling, for whatever that's worth. Also, hi Mom, thanks for watching. But just have your parents adopt a 17-year-old real quick. Fun story. My college roommate really hit it off with my dad, and for a while it was like, I was like, wait, is he the favorite sibling? Not really. Not really. We joked about it. But I didn't feel insecure in that way. In that way, at least. Also, I think that joking about someone or something else being the favorite child is a long-standing joke of all kids, which I guess in theory eventually turns into all people. You know, I used to joke that the family dog was the favorite child as well. Not seriously, but I do think I have a suspicion that it's a pretty frequent joke. If you have 4 kids so you can tell all of them in secret you're the favorite. Frank, don't do it. There's other safer jokes and tricks to play on children, but don't introduce the idea of favoritism. You don't want it. But they all get the ego boost. Well, right, but, you know, kids talk. Kids talk. They all get the ego boost. I know I'm the favorite. I just think it's better to not introduce the idea of favoritism coming from you. Keep it, you know, keep it fair, keep it even. Every kid's different. They should all get their time with you. They should all get their special things they share, and they should all get their special things that's them, you know? You're gonna do it to make them stronger. And then we'll have the who's the real favorite battle royale. Make that a little bit small. I should make her still pretty bold. To the death. They will evolve to be better than their peers. I don't know. Maybe it's just because like I was a very competitive individual as a kid. And I don't know looking back if it did me really all that much good. So I'm very much like, and some people might find this totally obnoxious, but I definitely, with the kids, I'm always encouraging, like, do what you like to do because you like to do it. And if you want to get better at it, don't do it to beat somebody else. Do it because you love it and you want to do it the best you can possibly do it. Like, because I feel like eventually the desire to just beat somebody else, like, it does one of two things. It either runs thin, and you're just like, really? Is that really? what I care about. Or you become an extremely unhealthy person who's competitive against everybody and everything, and nobody really wants to be around you. I'm telling you, I have seen time and time again, like, the traits that make someone a like high performer, an extreme high performer, are not oftentimes the traits that make them a good person. You get exceptions, people who rise to the top in what they do because they love doing it, and they work hard, and they work hard because they're doing it partially for themselves and partially because they want to, like, they don't want to let down the people around them. But a lot of the environment that breeds that like really strong competitor also can just kind of do some unhealthy things for humans in general. That's my opinion. That's how the guy from The Bear became the best chef in the world. I don't know. I think it's also just kind of my opinion that, like, is it really, like, can you get that much joy from beating other people that, like, that is what sustains you all the way to the top? I don't think so. I think at some point that runs out. I think, like, for you to really sustain something, it has to be something that comes within. And, like, at some point you're also walking that razor's edge of, like, the need for validation by being at the top, just creating a constant black hole, right? Geoff giving participation trophies, yes. Then you get humbled when you lose, and you get better. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do better. Like, I'm just saying, like, I think you need to really be careful about it, because I think you can very easily kind of develop the kind of attitude that makes you a terrible person. Or just builds lifelong insecurities. And don't get me wrong, like, I want to be an awesome artist and I want to get better, but I'm not out here like trying to find people artists I can beat, or trying to find people I can compare myself to and be like, oh, I'm definitely better. Like, that's not. And also, it gets into the whole thing of styles, and, you know, everyone's got their own kind of style, and what's, you know, maybe one person's creates something that is like a slicker overall appearance, or, you know, they're really great at color theory. Maybe someone else is great at directing the eye in panels. Like, it's pointless. You can exhaust yourself trying to compare. I have the best. Another trophy for me. Too late. I win. But I think that really getting better at something involves choosing to, because you want to do it. And yeah, you have to have a critical eye on your stuff. And yeah, it helps to find people who are really good, who you admire, that you can learn from. But at some point, like, it just kind of, it's got to come from a genuine desire, and not like a need for validation, because that is shaky ground, my friend. Shaky ground. Can't hear you from the top of the leaderboards. Wait, are there art leaderboards? Where am I on them? Oh no. No, I don't want sticky keys, man. Come on. I'm doing stuff, computer. It's okay, Geoff. I'm not trying to. I'm just using the shift key to draw straight lines. That's all I'm trying to do. Oh gosh, it's 11:59 already. Oh my, will you look at the time? Yep, that's going to be kind of a tangent-y thing going on there, so we'll bring it there. Those are not huge windows. 2 panels in, nice. If I wanted to be really obnoxious, though, I could just hit shift over and over again to key the sticky keys sound effect and see how much that annoys you, Frank. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm not obnoxious. Not me. Okay. All right. Someone in second place would you? Well, I'm first place in sticky keys, okay? Okay, well, this is okay. We're getting through thumbnails, and I feel like it's pretty good for starting from a very, very sparse script that we just jotted down real quick. I feel like we're in pretty good shape with this, especially since we got a couple weeks till it has to go out. Let's see what we did today. Oh, you can't see that. There we go. There we go. Why does it do the slowest one now always by default? There we go. Yay, look how much we did today. Also, I do feel like I got a little bit distracted today, and that's okay. It was good conversation. Okay. Okay. All right, we are at that magical time. That magical time, because now I get up like 45 minutes to an hour earlier every day. And that is, you know, challenging if I stream till like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So, excuse my gosh, wow. All right. I need some water. Well, I think this is where I'm going to wrap it up tonight. Good progress on the Core Toons. I think we'll be continuing it next week. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. So I've got a lot of art to do, and figuring out what all I'm gonna do is the challenge. So we've got, obviously we're doing this one for Core Toons. We've got another one on tap for some like weather map literacy, stuff like that. Then we've got like a whole new Core Toons series that we're looking to launch that's like more creative writing based. It's actually not using these 2 characters. I'm really excited about that one. So I got to get started on those, because I think we're looking at like a January launch for that one, something like that. So that's coming up. Potentially GDQ art, but that'll be due at latest at the end of December, but it might actually be like mid-December. So I only have like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to do that if I'm going to. We're actually sending off our pitch packet for our graphic novel. We're aiming to get that out pretty soon, but to a couple of agents at least. But then to another agent we found, we need to finish some more pages for sample pages. So I've got 2 complete pages right now, I think, which is a pretty well on the light side, but I think this one wants like 10. So I'll be finishing some pages there. that's not the only art stuff. What else did I have to do? There's lots. There's lots of stuff. I think some more fun Core Toons work. So next week will be either GDQ or piece or finishing up this comic. We're continuing on. So I might do some work on this. I'll show Ashley what I've got so far and maybe make any adjustments to the thumbnails and pencils there. But otherwise, we just have the rest of pencils, inks, and colors on this one. So we'll go pretty quick, I think. So yeah, one of those two things will happen next week. We'll see which one. It kind of depends on what the priority is at the moment. And if I'm forgetting anything else. Remember, kids, live life competitively. That's what Frank says. I say live life doing the things you enjoy doing. Yeah, okay. All right, I think that covers it. I think I need to get myself to sleep soon. So, everyone, thanks for joining. If you're lurking, thanks for lurking. This is a lurk positive environment, and I always appreciate you. Frank, it's always good chatting with you. Mom, thanks for watching. If you're watching the VODs, hey, that's helpful as well, and I appreciate you. Feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, either follow over here on Twitch, or if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe if you like what you see. Anything else, he says while he loads his stream ending screen, and everything freezes for a second. No, I think that's it. Thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.